I'm Christian Herrera, better known as Tico, and I am the cinematographer of Snowfall. Season 5 of Snowfall was my very first time DP in a TV show. So episode 9, Departures, from season 5, that was the episode that I start planting the seed for season 6. I went darker. I went with a whole different look of the camera language. Kind of thinking of where I was gonna go on season 6. I started experimenting a little bit on episode 9. And I do believe, all these changes and all these thoughts for our next season, it brought this episode and the whole thing to become visually a lot more appealing. I think it is the most, visually speaking, the strongest episode of last season. It was the first time that I start changing things for all our characters in terms of the colors also start shifting a little bit. My director, she got on board with me in terms of finding something different, finding something new. We worked together in terms of colors. She was also amazing in terms of the color palettes, not just our lighting, but also in our production designing and all the wardrobe. So we put a lot of effort in terms of finding something special for that episode. So it was definitely, the episode that it started changing the look. And that's the episode it changed my career too. It changed my life. So when I started season 6, I wanted to paint this season. Also shaping what I was doing with the lights, with my key grip, Ryan, who, big part of this season was shaping the light. Yes, we worked in terms of finding these jewelry colors who were motivated by, Franklin was the king of the cocaine era in Los Angeles. Then Louis became the queen, and that's kind of where the idea of the jewelry and this complexity of combining colors came as an inspiration for me to start season 6. We shot season 6 with 3 Venice 2. We carry a Venice 1 because the Rialto, and we also carry a FX3. Yet I use the FX6 for some drone work as well. So I just kept the whole season in the family of Sony. We shoot a Super 35. So everything that we shoot is Super 35 with Tico Vision lenses. Now talking about what was the biggest change between Venice 1 and Venice 2 and what it brought to this season, when I start pushing it to 4,000, 5,000 or even 6,400 ISO, it brought a lot of more than I had before. Being able to see mountains where, my eyes couldn't even see it. Start adding layers in the frame. How the camera had also rendered all these colors, because I can create all these jewelry colors with my lights, but also I need to capture them. And to be able to have the color signs and the depth in the colors in the sensor to be able to capture and, kind of work together in terms of the skin tones and then all these fancy jewelry colors, that also the Venice 2 was definitely the right decision and the right tool to use. And the 6400 ISO is amazing to the fact that there's many scenes at night exteriors that I went that crazy and it looks amazing. It's just, and not that we don't carry lights. We carry all kind of lights and still have to light it. I still at 6400, I will still have my condors with, movers and light the whole scene. But what you can see deep in the distance, in the horizons, it's just a whole different layer of light that normally with your eye you cannot capture that. The lenses obviously is a 1.3, so we use the 1.3 on the lens as well. But just the quality of what you can do at night, it opens a whole different way of lighting and also telling a story that is, in my perspective, a lot more realistic without using so much artificial lighting. I'm a big fan of the Rialto. This season also different than the season before. I carry one camera always on the Rialto mode. I use it mostly for moments that I have to be like a French overs in the cars. Having a Rialto with an operator inside is the perfect combination. And also like for any car exterior, like we have to rig, 2, 3, 4 cameras on the car. So sometimes it's easier to just rig the Rialto on a, nearby the wheel or somewhere in a very complex shot that I can shoot through the mirror or anywhere else. So that's definitely like our go-to camera when we're looking to, be fancy and complex on our shots. Snowfall is a show that loves flares and is always like looking for these moments of, flaring the lens. And with these vintage lenses that we used to use in season 3 and 4, it was very hard to control the contrast, and it was always very hard to keep the skin tone accurate. And that's kind of where I start creating my own lenses. I wanted to have a lens that it has still this vintage look from the 80s, but yet when I flare it, it doesn't lose contrast. The look of the Tico Visions was to have the beauty of the vintage lenses on a modern technology. And that's how we, that's the look of season 6 and season 5 as well. Advices for future filmmakers, dream, dream, and work for your dreams, because they do come true.